Welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title of today's video, I am going to be picking my June TBR, but I'm gonna let this little jar pick out my reads. I have a ton of books that I want to read this month, and I know I can kind of just go with the flow, but I thought it'd be fun. Before I get into it, I want to show you I'm currently reading Caraval. So I did already start this book, and I am going to only pick 5 books from all of these books that I have here. Oh, and if you saw in my previous videos, I did have it from the library, which I have to go and return it, and yesterday I went and got it myself because I'm actually really enjoying it and I really want to annotate this book, and I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I am. I'm going to show you guys all of the books that I have here that are in the jar already. So everything in here is what I have here. I actually have 11 books, so I have 10 books here, but I do have an 11th book that is on Kindle Unlimited that I really want to read. The first book I have is A Court of Thorns and Roses. I actually bought it used. It was only $5. I wasn't gonna pass that up. I feel like because I'm in a fantasy mood right now, if I read it while I'm in that mood, I will enjoy it. I literally have zero clue what this book is about. I just know that it's a fantasy. But I'm pretty sure if you are watching my video, you most likely have heard of this. Then I also have The Inheritance Games, which I really want to read this book as well. This book is about a girl, her name is Avery, and this billionaire dies that she has no connection with. He leaves her with his entire fortune. There are 4 grandsons that it sounds like they're a little bit bitter at the fact that their grandfather didn't leave them anything. There's some kind of game going on. I don't entirely know, but I've heard really great things, so this is high up on my list to read. So next, I do have 3 books that are from the exact same author. This author likes to write all of her books in the same setting, so they're always taking place in Nantucket. I have 3 books by Hilderbrand, and I have The Hotel Nantucket, 28 Summers, and The Perfect Couple. So all of these are library books. Again, I don't know too much detail on this book, but let's see what it's about. This girl, she becomes the general manager of a newly renovated Hotel Nantucket. Although the Hotel Nantucket appears to be a blissful paradise, there's a lot of drama behind closed doors. And I have 28 Summers, and 28 Summers is about a man named Lynn who receives his mother's deathbed instructions to call a number on a slip of paper in a desk drawer. Link, he ends up figuring out that his mother, she was living an entirely different life, so I really think this will be interesting as well. Then we have The Perfect Couple. I really do want to read this book, however I'm a little bit iffy about reading it right now because I did just read The Guest List last month. This is about a wedding in Nantucket, and the maid of honor is discovered dead just hours before the ceremony, and everyone in the wedding party is suddenly a suspect. So I do want to read it, but I'm a little iffy about getting into it right now. So I have Meet Me at the Lake by Carley Fortune, and I did read Every Summer After. I did enjoy it. I wasn't too big a fan of the ending of the book. This is Carley Fortune's newest book, and one reason I really like reading her books is because they take place in Ontario, which is exactly where I live. So when she talks about certain things, I'm familiar with them, which is, to me, it's really cool. This one is about a girl named Fern who ends up meeting a man named Will, and basically they spent like this one day together, and they agreed to meet up again the next year, the same day, and he doesn't show up. Years and years later, she's running like her mother's lakeside resort, and he actually is one of the people that's hired to work there as well. I'm not too desperate to read it right now, but I definitely want to read it during the summer because it does take place in Muskoka, so I think that is really cool. Next, I have Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, and this is another second chance romance. And basically this is about Yasmin and Josiah, and they are 2 people who couldn't save their marriage. It says that they're always drawn back to each other, and now they're beginning to wonder if they're truly ready to let go of everything they once had. On my list of romances, I do have The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, and I've never read any of Lauren Asher's books, but I was about to start this one a while back, and then I just didn't really feel for it. And this is from the Dreamland Billionaires series. Basically, each book is about one brother, and their grandfather, I believe, passes away, and in the will, they each have specific instructions to gain their inheritance. The grandfather, he basically owns like this thing called Dreamland. It's kind of like Disney, basically, is what I've heard. In this one, in the fine print, it's about Rowan, and he actually, I believe, works at the theme park, the Dreamland theme park. Zara is one of the women who works at Dreamland, and I believe she has like a really great proposal. I don't know if this is gonna be an enemies to lovers. I really hope it's not, but I do know that this is a workplace romance. This is Not a Happy Family by Shari Lapena. This sounds so interesting. Fred and Sheila Merton certainly are rich, but even all their money can't protect them when a killer comes to call. The Mertons are brutally murdered the night after an Easter dinner with their 3 adult kids, who of course are devastated. Or are they? They each stand to inherit millions. They were never a happy family thanks to their vindictive father and neglectful mother, but perhaps one of the siblings is more disturbed than anyone knew. Did someone snap after that dreadful evening, or did another person appear later that night with the worst of intentions? This is a library book as well. This one, however, I got in the best bets section, so I don't have very long with it. Anything that's in like the best bets section, you only get 3 weeks to borrow it. You cannot renew it. That's it. This is The House of Eve by Sadeqa Johnson. I do know it's about one woman whose mother pushes her to basically find a husband and to focus on finding a husband. She wants to go to school, and she is going to be, I believe, the first person in her family to go to university. Then this book description does talk about somebody else. All I know is the 2 of them's lives are going to connect. It really sounds a lot like The Vanishing Half, but I don't think that's what it's gonna be like, so I'm interested to read this. I've heard good things as well. And lastly, I have Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. This one is a really popular book. I think the hype kind of died down now, but there is a movie coming out at the end of the year, so I really want to read this before the movie comes out. This actually takes place in the 1960s, and this is about Elizabeth Zott. She ends up being a single mother and working as the star of America's Most Beloved cooking show. She has like a very different approach to cooking because she kind of puts it together with her chemistry knowledge, teaching women to cook, but not just to cook. It says she's daring them to change the status quo. I really want to read this. So those are the 11 books that I have in the jar, and I'm going to share with you guys the ones that I really want picked the most. Lessons in Chemistry, 28 Summers by Elin, Hilderbrand, The Hotel Nantucket, Not a Happy Family, The Inheritance Games, and then A Court of Thorns and Roses. If I had my dream pick, it would be those. Okay, so let's do the first one. I'm going to shake it up. Okay, first one. God, do me good here, please. Okay. I had a feeling this one was gonna get picked, and it's not high up on my list. We have Meet Me at the Lake. So I guess this is being read this month. Next one. Oh, nice. A Court of Thorns and Roses. The Hotel Nantucket. Okay. I definitely would have preferred 28 Summers, but then again, I still have 2 more. See, The Fine Print. That one I'm gonna read on Kindle Unlimited. Wait, so that means I only have 1 more pick. Okay, last one. I'm actually surprised. The Inheritance Games. I honestly didn't think I was gonna get that one. What I will be reading this month. So we have The Fine Print, which I'm gonna read on Kindle Unlimited. We have Meet Me at the Lake by Carley Fortune. A Court of Thorns and Roses, The Inheritance Games, and The Hotel Nantucket. So that is my June TBR. Thank you guys so much for watching. I was a little bit nervous that I was just gonna get a bunch of books that weren't like at least in my top, and I actually ended up getting 3 books that are from my top picks. Please don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video.